Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah. On behalf of Colwas, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have another very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our guest speaker who is going to talk about gamification and its impact on developing creative thinking skills. Indeed, developing critical and creative thinking skills are very crucial in today's world. And what is the role of gamification in that? You will get the best insights, the right guidance, and suggestion about all these things as we have an expert with us in today's this session. So stay tuned because an amazing stuff are coming ahead in this session. So before we start, I would like to thank Calvas for arranging such enlightenment sessions, for their support and providing such a wonderful platform. The aim of Calvas is to give you the opportunity to connect and interact with world renowned speakers, academic leaders, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen to learn from their experiences, recommendations, and suggestions, which will create an impact and will enable you to learn and develop yourself in order to grow and transform individually as well as to contribute to the world in a positive way. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have an amazing person as guest, a person having a wonderful experience as a professional and internationally known personality. He is a great human being. We always see him while performing and contributing to the world and sharing his knowledge. He is the head of the Educational Supervision Team Support Department at North Sharqia Education. He holds a PhD in Arts, Humanities, and Translation, ambassador of the Verki International Prize for Educators, among the top 50 teachers in the world for the year 2017 in the Global Teacher Prize, winner of the Khalifa Award for the excellence in the category of creative teacher in the field of public education in the Arab world for the year of 2016-2017. Second place in the Faisal bin Qasim Al Thani Prize for the educational research in the category of teachers in the Gulf State 2016. Moreover, a researcher in sociology, educational administration, curricula, teaching methods, and the integration of technology with education. Along with that, he is the Intel teaching program instructor. In addition to that, he is a member of the Omani Society for Education Technologies, member of the Gulf Comparative Education Association. He has presented and participated in many local, regional, and international conferences. Microsoft Expert 2021. He has more than 30 scientific papers published, overseeing the implementation of more than 1,000 technical projects and teacher educational initiatives. Last but not the least, he's a wonderful speaker, teacher, author, professional, and above everything, he's a great human being. So please help me in welcoming our guest, Dr. Ali Said ALMATARI. Welcome to the Calvas platform, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Prof. Haider, for this introduce. Actually, I am a small graduate PhD holder.
Yeah.
So please forgive me. Maybe my English is not good as well, but I try to explain and give you something good, maybe or interesting, especially in research. So thank you so much again, Dr. Haider, for
Yeah.
trusting me first
Yeah.
to
Thank
be
you.
a part of this event. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really great to have you, Dr. Ali. It's wonderful. And today we are very excited to learn from your knowledge, and you are going to share a wonderful stuff with us. So before we get started, let me just tell you about the format of this session that Dr. Ali will be presenting, and he would leave time for question answer session at the end of the session. So if you have any question, please write in comment section, or you can email us on info@calvas.com. So over to you, Dr. Ali. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you again, Prof. Haider, to trust in me to be your guest in this evening. Actually, maybe my topics it's not new research, but maybe it's interesting for the new researcher that looking, especially in PhD, looking for the solving of the lack of education, especially after corona pandemic, and we know what is the lack of education. A lot of conference, a lot of meeting, a lot of publish research. They're looking for how to solve the lack of education. Until now, there is no one find a good solution and a good way to approve to be the one solution. So maybe in this presentation, maybe you get something help you to solve this lack of education. Maybe help teachers because teachers, we have using active learnings in reality in the class, and maybe they are looking for something interesting in the class also by using gamifications. This gamification, maybe it's not new concept as I know, but maybe some of them they are mixed with the game. Is gamification is a game or what it's mean? Also, the impact of developing creative thinking skills. Actually, there everyone looking for how to developing the creative thinking skills. Uh, and in 2 years that we had corona pandemic, a lot of skills maybe uh, I cannot say disappear, but maybe it will become less, and some of them maybe disappear because a lot of research and a lot of reports given by UNESCO, but by United Nations, said uh, students in e-learning, maybe they are not agree with me. A lot of skills they are lose, especially interactive with teachers, maybe social emotional learning skills, uh, uh, taking decision, maybe social awareness, uh, maybe problem solving, and something like this one. So we in this our paper, I hope to get something maybe help you to answer the questions and help you also the researcher. I know maybe a lot of researcher they contact with me, and when publish one Arabic paper talking about gamification, and actually I'm really happy because they are from Oman and they are doing a PhD in maybe Malaya or UKM in Malaysia University, and their topics also about gamification. So let's see what is the gamification. Yes, I have the control. Thank you, Dr. Haider. What is a
Yes,
game
thank you,
and
Doc.
what is gamification? Uh, want to try to discover or compare between game and gamification. Games are universal parts of human experience and have existed across all culture. And many cultures have different kind of games, and also it's independent by the relation and culture, and maybe the behaviors or the background of their uh, the humanity or society. Many different types of games exist, which make an act definition. Uh, However, games can largely be defined by following benefits. Games need rules, also need feedback system and goals. This is a game. So, what is the rules? Every game we know there's a rules. Without rules, you cannot win. So, games are activities that have rules that are different from everyday life. And no, the rules it change by that time. These rules generally exist to define the scope of the player's choice and of action throughout the games. Also, games need feedback system. Much of games interactively release on the feedback system. So, which is often instant, the consequence of players' action are usually presented immediately on taking the action. Third, we need goals or aims that we need to achieve by doing these games or playing this game. So a game's goals or factory condition is clearly defined and ambiguous or clearly. Often games have several mini goals which yellow point toward the ultimate goals. That's of victory, but in nearly all cases, the path of the victory is clear and known to all the players. So all the players should know the goals and they try to achievement in the end to be a win. So this is a game, and I hope it will be clear. If we are looking for uh, this paragraph or shape, talking about the games, maybe it's it's old maybe data collected on August 2020, but what we are seeing, according to the report by Statsia, there are over 1,061 651 million active mobile games worldwide as of 2020. And we know in maybe in the March 2020, the what is called the World Health uh, told us there's a pandemic. So the students they are staying at home. What we are doing, we are learning. They are playing games, and we know a lot of fathers, a lot of parents they don't agree about this kind of learning because the students have many choice and they can go a skip away from the teachers when they are try to explain something information maybe or some subjects in online learning. So, and I think maybe when you are looking for new data, maybe 2022, you will see the different maybe a huge number. So also, another, and this number is expected to amount to 2,020 million by 2025. Another report also showed that games remained for ahead of other Apple apps store categories in 2020, especially 21.86% of apps belong to the games category followed by business, which is only 10.11%. Therefore, it is not a surprise that many apps for another categories are actively pouring games design element like bats. And you know, now a company like maybe Microsoft, uh, because we are Microsoft expert. So how to encourage us by learning? We are doing learning, but they give us a badge, reward, a point, also score, board, internal currency level, and so on, and a lot of certificate maybe get from Microsoft. So if you want to learn, you need to encourage from others. You need to push you from the rest side to active side. Uh, in other words, the gamification app is an app that uses gaming features to engage users. So teachers, as we see before, we are in education technology parts, and we trained a lot of teachers and a lot of maybe school principal. So teachers, firstly, when we are opening the programs, they ask, what is the benefit of this program? And also how to use with the students, how to encourage students, how to be the students a fire of activity. How? So there is a lot of programs that provide gamification. We try, inshallah, we'll discover in next slide. Why gamification? What is the benefits of gamification learning? First, 10 or turn fair into fun. Gamification change the environment of the class. If you are in e-learning platforms or in reality in the class. So as we sometime maybe supervisor or visiting some schools and find a lot of teachers. Maybe we have Proxima and we have big screen, 60-inch, but no one use. Maybe sometimes, but sometimes we'll find teachers maybe using some simple games or QR code. You see what is the interactive with the teachers. Small thing, but the benefit is big. Especially we are talking about exams, maybe at the end of the week, or repairing some question or some what is called competition between students. So gamification change the environment of learning and make it fun. Second, turn have two into one two. Yes, we have a lot of programs, but what do we want from these programs? What we get from this program? We have million apps, and what is the benefit if you don't want what we want from this program? What we want to achieve with this program is nothing. We have cars, we have mobiles, maybe we have iPhone 13, but what is the benefit? What is the use of iPhone 13, and what is the use of maybe Huawei? Uh, it's independent, but what do you want? You want apps it's available in Huawei and Apple, iPhone, but it's independent to you. You are a teacher. You want to achieve something with a student, so you need to choose some program that you tried first with you before you are tried with the students and see the result by trying. Third, give them challenge and give them reason to learn. Learn without challenge is nothing. We are playing with students. If we are in e-learning, we are opening PowerPoint. We speak. The students see our face sometimes. What is teacher doing? He is reading the presentation. Why he's not using presentation, interactive presentation? Why? So if there any gamification, no. Teacher also only present the presentation, take the copy from the curriculum and present nothing else. So we should give them a challenge and give them reason to learn. Why we are learn, and the teacher before starting learn, he should have the aims of the learnings. We should have the goals before we are doing learning. Some countries, maybe in 2014, I have been in London and visited some schools. Uh, in 2014, there's a competition, Minister of Education, and they chose me. I don't know how I win this competition. So we went to British and visited a lot of schools, and one school is called Wadi Deacon High School, big school, 1,000 students. It's no university, it's not school. Okay, but the teacher they cannot explain anything without reading his goals or his aims in the small board. If the principal of school come and he didn't find the aims of the lesson, they give him zero for teacher. This is maybe not interesting, maybe in teachers, some of them, but we know. Where are you going? I'm going to pray. Okay, how you are going to pray? You go by motorcycle because I have motorcycle, or walking by the cars. We have a line to go. What is the event that's having the line? how to solve. Maybe you will find something there in your way, how to remove. If you are removed, it is a kind of sadaqah, you know. And teacher should also know how to make a good way with a lot of challenge, a lot of clear idea of reason of learning for the student to achieve their goals. Also, inspire and reactive. Uh, Gamification give us this benefit, inspire and reactive. Without reactive, we cannot learn. Let you a small story. Maybe in 2015, at that time I am teaching what is 12, grade 12, okay, and we have two shy students, and they are stand in the corner all time. They are quiet. I'm at this in Wednesday. I actually I make some competition with the students, some games, some gifts, bin and chocolate, and some small gifts. In this day, the good students they are, no one of them participate, but two of the students they are participate. Why? The, and I'm looking. I ask father, what is the reason? Only this time, the two students they are reactive with me. He said their mother, after doing anything, they give prize. They encourage him. So uh, I'm looking for myself. At that time, I am in shame because maybe 4 months I'm not discovered the students. So and I don't, we have a lot of cases in our schools. Maybe a lot of teachers also not look after. Let's go next. Gamification also. The definition of gamification. The definition of gamification is the application of games like uh, mechanic to non-games uh, entities to encourage specific behaviors. Maybe gamification related to behaviors. We want to change the behavior of students about behaviors or attitude about the subject. If you are coming to the student directly at 1 + 1 = 2, without without any symbols, without any pictures, without any something reactive with the students, how they understand. We know 1 + 1 = 2. That's no. But new curriculum on Oman, maybe Cambridge, use Cambridge, we had some strategies because I have my daughter in grade 5. One time I tried to solve the one question in mathematics 5 times. I cannot done solve. Teacher said, this is wrong solve. I am teacher, mathematics teacher, but I don't have the thinking of what is the psychology of learning, of thinking, how the student think, how to solve, what is the kind of thinking that students can solve this problem. We don't have. We have experience in teaching maybe 17 years. Sometimes sometimes we are teaching students university, but I cannot solve this question because this is my ability of thinking. So we have a limit. We have a limit thinking that's maybe this question is not in my mind at this time. So gamification uh, give interactive, give clear maybe way to solve. Gamification is not game based learning. Maybe some of them they are mixed with game based learning. Also, nor does it require students to apply games only. With toys, use electronic. It is also uh, don't necessarily require you to create elaborate system to experience point and bads and something. Also, gamification, when does it make sense to use gamification? To encourage a specific response behaviors. Who is looking for behaviors? Who is looking for social emotion? Now, all teachers, maybe some of them agree with me or not agree with me. Also, some of the researchers, especially in Arabic country, they're only try to solve how to solve the leak of education with using strategies. But these strategies don't have the soul. How we try to solve without have the soul of education. We are not looking for the social emotional learning. The social emotional learning, maybe in Oman, maybe also maybe we publish it only one paper talk about social emotional learning, and I try to search about social emotional learning. I didn't find some Omani maybe research, so it's something new. But maybe West country, the maybe more 14 years maybe or 15 years are doing research in this kind of learning. So the exams, it, maybe the exam is important. We know how to achieve our goals going to university, but also we need to uh, give the student social awareness, responsibility, uh, also the self-awareness also about themselves. They want to give the students the ability to make decision sometimes, because in e-learning only what's independent by making decision. Who is making decision? A student or father or mother? Who's solving the all homeworks, especially in last 2 years in corona pandemic? Families. And we are, and if you are a teacher, you are superlative. To increase the visibility and perceived importance of others' minor and less visible action. Minor is important. Does gamification increase the minor? This question is for the researcher, because I'm not researching this apart. To promote competition to engage students. Uh, did the researcher looking after gamification and related to engage students, or only try to use some programs in and teacher try to see the attitude of this program? We have a lot of study, especially related to gamification and maybe engage students to learning, but looking for attitude, not and behaviors, not looking for the main goals of gamification. It's main skills. Example, there's some examples we'll see next, inshallah, maybe clear. Gamification, uh, user management, reward, achievement, motivation, learning, and challenge. This is gamification. If you are reward students for answer without reactive, it's not gamification. It's only that you asking question and you get the answer for the student. I give him reward. But if you are said, thank you so much for try again. I hope to solve it again. This is fantastic. But in this point, you should to change it plus to minus and something like that. So, as a relative neologism, the term gamification has been used in many forms in different contexts. Gamification is defined as the interaction of application of elements games which make games so enjoyable into other areas of life. Gamification focus especially on the application of such elements into education. I like using games to teach. For example, asking children to play words-based games learn Scarborough to encourage better reading skills. Gamification focus on extracting the underlying principle of game and asking where their and education experience can be uh, reconfigured by built on those principles. So this is gamification. A successful gamification program will look choose what Scott Osterwell is a creative director of the Massachusetts Institute, maybe in USA of Technology Education Arcade, called the For Freedom of Play. Let's discover what is. The first freedom, the freedom to fail. Did you agree with me? Did you maybe you are a father and you are a mother? Did you agree with me? Did you if your son or daughter fail? Did you agree or angry, or what you provide in this gamification? He should fail to learn because without fail we will not learn. Will fail 99, but in 100 the light is open. So the freedom to fail. Games allow a mistake to be made with a little consequence. The freedom to experiment. We need to be a freedom experiment. Games allow players to explore and discover new strategies and pieces of information. Did allow students to do in the class or follow their minds by the information. The freedoms to assume different identities. Games encourage players to see problems from different perspectives. Did you allow students actually to look for the problem in different perspective, or you have own perspective in the class? So the fourth, the freedom of effort. Games allow players to go through uh, periods of intense activity and relative an activity so that players can pause and reflect on the task they have accomplished. This is gamification. But in the game, you cannot stop. If you are stop, you will lose. This is in games, but gamification, you can stop and you can rest and you can get feedback and return again and continue games. To this end, gamification can be broken down into individual elements, each of which brings specific advantage and disadvantage to education process. This is I get from internet, but I am losing. Also, I am losing inside of this picture because they give for all information maybe about gamification, and you can get a picture of this from internet. Gamification is known as a modern strategies in education, which is the use of principle of elements of games, maybe reward, achievement, points, appointment, symbolic image, behaviors, moments, feedback, and comfortable productivity in contexts outside the games where the learner completes education tasks and activities to achieve education goals. That's develop creative thinking, fluency, flexibility, and originality. And it is the rise students' motivation toward learning. And this is important. Game you cannot find this in games, but this is provided by gamification. In this shape, maybe which is Oxford and analyzed 2016, show us this shape and looking for the mechanical and personal and emotional. Elements can trigger great engagement through their internal design, how they foster students' engagement, and ultimately creating an environment of intense focus that stimulate learning and retention of information. We have classified these elements into their categories: mechanical, personal, and emotional. So, if you are looking for mechanical, it's mean repaired feedback, goals, sub goals, and quest, and boarding and progressing. If you are looking for emotional, the flow of emotioning. In gamification, uh, you see the reaction, the attitude or maybe you sometime maybe if you have a program that's measure the social emotioning, because this is my interesting research now. Social emotioning maybe it's related to gamification, and maybe I think the Harvard form related to many factors. If you are looking for social emotioning, maybe it's related to uh, gamification by some variables. Maybe you can take mechanical, personal, and emotional. Maybe you can research in this point. Is there any relation between gamification and social learning? Social learning, if you are looking for Castle 2022, they're providing five elements: social awareness, self-awareness, decision making, and two I forget. And I hope to maybe try to discover. If you are looking personal avatars, social engagement, lobs, and leaderboards. This is a shape maybe explain the importance of gamification. Maybe uh, uh, all time I'm talking about teachers, because we are the teachers, we are nothing. The teacher, they provide a learning with different way. But is what is the best way you provide for the students? Mechanical elements of gamification. Gamification spans all possible to games design. However, there are some mechanisms that have gained prominence as the most fundamental with wide applicable. I don't know some words maybe. Sorry. One boards and increasing accessibility. Onboarding concern the first interaction a player has with games. Most games, particularly video games, have tutorials, and in gamification, they have tutorials, which aims to guide players through the intended first few minutes to play. Maybe you find in PlayStation or something like that. If these are not uh, explicit uh, tutorials, early leaves with often players the rules of tutorials such as level and are generally easy to complicate or complete and serve to introduce the concept which make up the games on by own. So on board in this point, so we need tutorials, we need to guide the students to how to they are playing. Battings building on encourage of achievement. When you are achieve, you will get battings, and a lot of games. Uh, and now maybe in a business model, uh, some courses you cannot get the certificate with passing some exam. In an exam, you find battings like Microsoft. Microsoft give battings for an achievement. So you give battings for maybe social emotional. Buddies for interactive learning, and something else. So in every day you get buddies and share in social networks. It's encourage you to to share your achievement with others. So some of them looking a different side for the achievement. Oh, this man is showing his muscle because all time he's showing his achievement all time. No, maybe another side you encourage others to achieve, and it's called hasad. So we need to achieve others, to encourage others to achieve. So especially in 2 years, last 2 years, a lot of platforms and training platforms. I cannot account. Some of them free. First two years, after 2 years, you should pay. Instant feedback. Games are designed to be responsive. The consequence of players' a choice or action during the games are either uh, apparent to them as they make the decision or relate to them almost immediately. So, in gamification, you can also uh, share your parent. Maybe you will be with you. Also, instrumental progression system, goals, challenges, and quests. In most games, especially video games, parts of the reward for solving problem is to be presented with slight more difficult problems. A game sub goals, often called mission, and this is games, level or quest, are layered in such as a way to present challenge to the players. They are clearly defined and segmented, and in many cases, after associate towards. So we had different way of reward. We didn't have one word reward. Only complete the mission, and maybe you get networks of your playing in PlayStation and Need for Speed. Next, we have personal elements of gamification. Games also increase engagement by attaching the player's sense of identities. Did teachers play attaching the sense of the teacher of the students, or give information and go away? I love teaching, you know, because the teaching is in my blood. So I done a lot of research. When I was teacher, also uh, after maybe 2017, I leave teaching, but I go to administration. But all time I'm with teachers, especially in the research. The first support of me, teachers and their students, especially in research, and they know well. So personal elements of gamification, leaderboard or ranking. All competitive games rank their players in order of ability of achievement, and the most widely used of these the leaderboards, where player of teams are displayed, often using point-based system, demonstrating uh, accumulated result. So gamification rank the student. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Also collective responsibility. Uh, you can find yourself when you are playing. You can find the soul of the game, not only the game. Visible state avatar. Games often provide players with an avatar, and we didn't know which kind of avatar. It's dependent by the background of the culture, which avatar they are mean. So Avatar, very form 3D. Maybe you can get 3D and such as a way to permit and element of personal experience and creativity. Creativity. Uh, game-based learning and gamification. If they are any different, this is games. You can discover with me, and you can see games are just for fun, and many of or many not have defined roles, objectives. A game-based learning games have defined learning objective. Gamification may just be a collection of tasks with point or some form of reward. So in gamification, the student gets something from you, like a reward. Also, in game, winning and losing is a part of the game. Games-based learning, losing may or may not be possible because the point is the motivated people to take some action and learn as an result. Gamification losing may or may not be possible because the point is to motivate people to take some action and do something. So, in the end, they will not lose. And also, if you are looking for the game play come first, reward are secondary. Game-based learning, sometimes just playing the games and get rewarded. Gamification being reward is option. So in game and based learning, you will get a reward, but in gamification, this is an option and depend by the situation or the attitude for the attend of the students, and you can discover there some difference. Maybe I will share you the presentation the last. There's some example of apps. Actually, I'm trying to search some examples that help me or help teachers to use. There's some examples of apps using gamification for user engagement. We know in current pandemic, some teachers, they're amazing teacher. Maybe some teachers before they are hating technology because they are not uh, have responsibility of the problems that maybe get with the interact with the technology or devices. So after we training teachers, a lot of teachers, especially in November 2020, we have actually 10,000 teachers, maybe by Ministry of Education. The attend of technology changed because they are using platforms. In 2013, I did many research, especially in platforms, using Acadux. Acadux platform is the first Arabic platforms. It's in, it's built by Saudian programs, and it is now famous. Also, I used Fresh Grade. Fresh Grade is American platforms, and with structs condition and rules, especially we are using with families. And I try for 3 years, 4 years, and get a lot of prices from these platforms and a lot of academic achievement change. But if the teacher at that time before Corona believe me, no, they are not believing me. But when they have been in Corona pandemic, they use technology, they use app, they use also platforms. Believes me. Maybe after 6 years, they are believe me because this is technology, this is platform or something new. Now you should use it if you want to take the salary in the last month. Otherwise, maybe you will get bad result by in your score by evaluate by supervision. So the maybe the thinking of teaching Also the model of teaching is changing. Who can see this program before? No one. Who can take care about this program? No one. Who can take care about gamification? No one. We have gamification, but we don't have in the role of gamification. We didn't know the gamification. So class dogo, everyone use class dogo. Class dogo we can use for 1 to 4, grade 1 to 4, and we can relight a fire in the class by using this program. Maybe in 2 questions, the students they will not forget the whole life, and they can show the personality, and the students maybe in grade 1 to 4 they like this picture, they like this interactive. So interact currency like there's some programs. If you are looking for basics, there's some also for basics, and also some programs for like academic Khan for progress parts, points like karma point, and social interaction like user groups in Miloga. Also challenges like trophies in Snapchat and something like that. Also Kahoot, a lot of using of Kahoot. This app with interact. You can, after 1 week teaching the students, you can evaluate your teaching by using this program. A lot of using of this program. And teacher, we after we train the students, we try to visit some teachers, and they used a lot, especially in the end of the week, maybe maybe day 4 of the week. They try to review the subjects or curriculum with the students. So the students will not forget. And also next week they will sit, they talk with each other. Oh, last week we win because we answered that question. So the teacher maybe they will break it in exam, and all the students will done with answer. Is there any program? Yes, there is a lot. There are a lot of programs. Also, you can search for these programs if you are interested in gamification. Maybe in 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, we'll talk about creative thinking can be divided in 4 dimensions. That are known of the 4 bits of creativity that can be explained as follow. Personality, creative thinking indicate the unique expression of the total personality. Process, creative thinking is a process that indicate a new thought, which individual try to find the new relationship, answer, method, and a new way in facing problem. So we have different way to facing problem. There's no one way to solve the problem. There's many way. And if you are looking for the research, maybe university, and for the research for master degree, especially in curriculum, maybe related to education technology or mathematics and so on, you will find a lot of students maybe try to use some programs with the 2 groups of the students and see which group is the get benefit from this program. So we have a lot of programs we use, but we didn't know which program is the best with the students. Maybe this program is not be good with this kind of students in the year of the, and also the thinking and the situation, the level of the students. So we have a lot of way to facing problem, but which way is better? So by creative thinking, you can choose but you need to first see the level of the students. If they are nearest to each other, they are really they have the ability to understand you or react with you and something like that. Pressure. Creative thinking is pressure that come from us. in the forms of strong passion and motivation to act. Yes, this is creative thinking. It's come from us. We need to believe from us. Also, creative thinking is a provide product. Creative thinking is a product that integrates everything was created as a result of the uniqueness of their personality, uh, interact with their environment. So, as we see a lot of environment now, maybe in current pandemic or after, and we see the lot of achievements, especially with the students, they try to use the material environment to build something or to solve something. And some of researchers now related to the natural, uh, related to learn under the tree. And we have some researchers in Sultan Qaboos University doing PhD by using the natural to learn. Creative thinking can be measured and developed through four indicators. The elements of creativity: fluence, the ability to produce a larger number of ideas or solution to the problem. So creative thinking have influence, also have flexibility, the ability to see think in different way. Also originality, the ability to come up with completely unique idea. Elaboration, the ability to enhance idea to provide more details. This is great creative thinking. Provide. What is the effect of communication and developing creating skills? Actually, I try to search for some uh, studies. Training is critical thinking is essential for the professional development for journalist study. Reported measure analyze the variance test score. Uh, the abstract, the creative thinking can increase the learning environment, can find the students find clear goals and challenges and feedback and competition between students. There's a lot of benefits you can search for. And this is Arabic study. Results referred that there was statistically significant difference between the means of score to experience and control groups, the post-test academic achievement test and the tolerance test. This is tolerance test is a test to measure the creative thinking, and you can search and actually we done one study in uh, psychology or something like that, and we try to use tolerance and translate to Arabic. This is English. We try to translate to Arabic and evaluate from other PhD holder, and we try and apply with the students. This is our study. The study collected that they are statistically significantly different in the overall performance and each skill of the most creative thinking skills test in favor of the experimental groups. Consider the result. The researcher recommend the necessity of using gamification in teaching social study. So we actually use in social studies and developing creative thinking skill. That's all, and I hope my speak is clear. And I'm really sorry. Maybe some words I'm not good on English well, but thank you, Dr. Prof. Haider, to give me a chance to improve my English language. So thank you so much, and maybe you can evaluate me late and give me the result. Thank you so
Thank
much
you very much,
again.
Dr. Ali. It was really lovely to listen to your presentation. The way you explained everything was so wonderful. And I love the way you started your presentation about the game and you told us about the characteristics of it. And then you started it with the wonderful thing that why gamification is important, what is game based learning, and the gamification itself and how it is related to the creative thinking skills and how can we develop it. And I loved one another approach of yours that you shared your personal stories, and that was so lovely part of this session that you explain with
Thank you.
wonderful stories. And I would say you have shown us the statistics as well, which actually is the beauty of the researcher. They always talk with the evidences, they give the
Thank you.
references, and then they talk, and which is very much visible. You have shown us the different apps, the different application of the apps, and then you very nicely mentioned that which app is more good at which grade level. So I think that's the beauty of the expert. They make things very easy for us. You have shown us so very important concepts that how it is interlinked with each other and how can we use it for creative thinking skills. Thank you very much for wonderful presentation and wonderful content. I would say your slides were so wonderful,
Thank you.
and it was so simplistic way that everyone can understand with a very easy way. So thank you very much. Indeed, it was
Alhamdulillah.
a
Thank you.
great presentation. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Now, Dr. Ali, we have a few questions for you. Should we start with the first question?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question, Dr. Ali, they want to have your thoughts on that. Dear Dr. Ali, please give your opinion. What is the role of motivation and creative thinking? Does motivated
Mhm.
people are only creative thinker, or motivation has nothing to do with the creative thinking? Yes, please.
I don't have answer for the question because I'm not researching and trying to get a relation between gamification and motivation. So if you ask me this question before corona pandemic, I can answer you. But now I need to I need to search because I know the thought is a change.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, very nicely said.
So
Without any investigation, it would be difficult to claim that whether it has a relationship or not. Okay, nice. We have another question which you have already explained in your presentation, but since they want to hear your thoughts on that, Dr. Ali, please share your thoughts on the role of freedom, which is very much crucial in
mm,
creative thinking. So, is there any limitation to the freedom we give to the, particularly to the children or the students, in order to fail, in order to experiment, or we can give them a lot of freedom so that their self confidence could be boosted up and they could become a creative thinker? Yes, please.
yes. Uh, Firstly, we should know what is the freedom.
Hmm.
Okay, and also it's independent by the role of the countries. Okay,
Yes.
from the big mean of freedom. So
Hmm.
I'm talking actually about the freedom in using gamification in the class. So
Hmm.
my talking is about the freedom in the class, and my talk is directly go for the
Hmm.
teachers. So
Hmm.
I mean from the freedom, let the student done the mistake and give him feedback all time and give him responsibility
Hmm.
to done again and again mistake to learn
Hmm.
because without mistake you cannot learn. We done a lot of mistakes, especially in research, where I am not good researcher as well, but
Hmm.
I try to publish my research. I send to the uh, magazine to journal to publish.
Hmm.
I get a lot of mistake that done. Okay,
Yes.
because if you are looking in one side, you cannot see
Hmm.
everything. Yes,
Yes.
because
True.
if you are looking in the mirror in the car, there are some hidden side you cannot see, but others
Hmm.
they can evaluate you and from your mistake you can learn. You can evaluate. You can evaluate the research. If anyone to want to help from you, you can provide because you get a lot of experience and a lot of mistake you done. So
Yeah.
you can solve this problem. So
Yeah.
you need to fail to learn,
Yeah.
but this is not rule.
Yeah.
You need to
Thank
fail
you
to
very
learn,
much.
but yes.
Yes. Very nice answer. Yeah, thank you very much once again, the Dr. Ali. And one last question that is very interesting, and they want to ask from you that we use the gamification to engage in high order of thinking skills. For example, application, the analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Yes, please.
I need to review. I need to research. I am not an expert to answer this question, but I think gamification can play in different roles, different
Mhm.
stakes, different level of education, because it is related to creative thinking. So creative thinking is not related to the student from the grade 1 to 4. Now
Mhm.
we are graduate from PhD until now. We need to solve some problems, and we face it many challenges.
Mhm.
So creative thinking or gamification is not related by the parts of time or the kind of problem. So it's related with the all life. Gamification, we done all gamification in the life. The gamification related to the life, related to the sense, to the souls, to the humanities. So not only play and win. This is
Mhm.
a kind. This is I think it's a way of life because every day you are playing gamification from with your son, daughter, your friends. This is a life is a kind of game
Yeah.
gamification. A life is a kind of gamification, not game.
Yeah. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Ali, for a wonderful presentation, wonderful content. I would say powerful content, which you have already elaborated. It will be helping a lot of our students and researchers around the globe who are watching and who will be watching this session. They will be getting a lot of benefit out of it. Thank you very much. In the last, we ask each of our guests that what is your message to the world as a teacher, trainer, learner, professional, and educator? Yes, please.
It's difficult exam, Prof. Haider.
Mm.
I think firstly you should believe in yourself. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala give us a mind to think, give us ability to achieve anything with a clearly rule, with a clear idea. So you should believe yourself. You can do everything, but try to be the safe side. Believe in yourself. You have soul inside your heart. You should go and search for it. You have a lot of powers. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala give you a lot of powers, a lot of ability to do, but and which side will be. So you should also learn. You should respect everyone. Learn from young people, from the old people, and maybe you get the wise from the old people. Maybe they told us the wise, maybe, and we are, and when we are thinking for this wise, oh, we're learning maybe 10 books to get this short wise. So you need to learn from everyone. Also, you need to look for something new. Look for the research. You need also to participate in like participate like attend in any conference.
Mm.
Don't be asleep because the knowledge is running. So you need to learn more. And one thing also, believe in yourself as a learner. You're a learner. I am now a doctor, okay, but I think now I'm now starting to learn. So you need to learn for all your life, and Allah Subhanahu wa Taala give you hope to be get benefit for each other. You should also collaborate with others. We should help each other, especially in research. So in this the end of the time, also maybe I will contact you, to you because I have another plan in PhD. So I want to contact you also. This is my chance also to have you here to share, inshallah, in email or Facebook, inshallah. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very much.
Dr. Haider.
Yeah, yeah, it's really pleasure and really wonderful session it was with you, Dr. Ali. Thank you very much for wonderful knowledge sharing session with us. So indeed, I would say that gamification and impact on developing critical thinking skills is very crucial. And Dr. Ali has shared a wonderful content with us, right from the characteristic to the how can we develop this skill. It's a wonderful thing. So do follow the distinguished guest speaker through his research work, and you can email him for future learning and guidance. He is always available and is very generous and very helpful to the people. So we will be providing his credential to contact him for the future guidance and learning. So that is all we have time for today. Thank you once again, Dr. Ali Said Al-Matri. And I would also like to thank our audience who joined us. If you have any additional questions about the information shared today, please email to us or you can connect with the speaker directly through his email or social media. Thank you all for your support and liking our sessions. Stay tuned as many sessions are on the way. Please do not miss any session. Until next session, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.